feeling. Got a feeling I was gonna say I got a feeling I know what's gonna be trending on Google. Like the talk in here, or he's gonna be in the chat. Either way, I mean, I don't care. I don't know why I'm asking. I've been using my mic around. I can't sit still anymore these days. I was actually just yawning, but talk some more. I am talking. I am here. I am around town. All right, sick. Here we go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to topic of conversation. Shit, that's loud. Why is that so damn loud? I don't know what's going on with my Amazon Music right now, but it's way too loud. Anyway,
I don't know either. Let me see.
Say that again. I don't know if I couldn't hear you or anybody could hear you there.
I don't know. I feel like I'm pretty quiet.
Yeah, you can hear you on the thing. Does the music sound loud, or is it just me?
You gotta ask Titanfall, man. It's hard to hear you in Discord and then try to listen to it over the stream.
For sure. Titan, how's it going, my guy? How's Croatia treating you? Same as it was this morning, I assume. Still another week in Croatia. Dude, wouldn't that be cool to just go, like, travel all the time?
I would love to. I've never been out of the country.
That would just be amazing.
Although technically, if you ask the military, I was out of the country once. They don't consider Alaska and Hawaii to be in country, so technically I went overseas. Yeah, 100%.
They must have forgotten a couple of very important treaties.
Yeah,
remittances into the Union.
I think they just consider it stateside being like the actual like connected states. And then anywhere else you go is just considered overseas.
Alright. Well, guess if that's the way they want to do it. Music is loud. Yes, I know. Titan, thank you. Appreciate that input. I've quieted it down a bit. I'm not sure why it's different from like this morning, because it was set pretty much the same way. But that's all right. That's all right. Anyway, hey, here we are. Topic of conversation. I am joined today by one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, Almighty Senpai. You can see his beautiful face up there. I'm using the sunglasses one.
Really?
Yeah, because you look shady. I like that.
I do look kind of shady.
So
in fact, that picture was taken at HHN like 2 years ago. I bought that shirt specifically for Halloween Horror Nights.
What is that?
And it was my... Huh?
I see faces on it. Who is it? Yeah.
It's like a Halloween shirt that has a bunch of different like horror movie villains and monsters on it. So it's got like your Freddy, Jason, Ghostface, Hellraiser, Chucky, Yad, so on and so forth.
So there you have it, everybody. Shady Senpai. Oh, well, hey, he's kind enough to join us today so that I'm not so lonely, because you know I've been kind of lonely lately. Topic of conversation all by myself, you know, and we've got a fun primary topic a little bit later today. We're going to talk a little bit about self-motivation, how did I word it yesterday?
Motivation and self something.
We're going to talk a little bit later about, you know, improving
self-improvement and motivation. That's what it was.
Yeah, self-improvement and motivation. And I'll tell you honestly, the reason that I was thinking about this topic in particular was I've been on LinkedIn a lot lately, right? And people on LinkedIn just put up the stupidest motivational posts.
Oh my god, you're talking about like on their profiles? Well, that and like in the feed. Sorry, I've been skimming through there too, and it's it's borderline kind of cringy at times,
It's
especially
super
when you don't know these people and you're just seeing posts coming out of the abyss.
right, right, and they're usually just nonsense. It's like that's, I mean, okay, oh,
You
feels
got Freddie
good, but then when
Mercury.
you think about it, you're like, what does that even mean? We're gonna scroll. We're gonna scroll through mine real quick. I bet you we find something within the first couple of frames here. What's this? You don't build culture by offering free snacks or a gym member or open seating. You build culture by talking to people and understanding what they care about. That one's actually not that bad. Like, yeah, okay, that's kind of true. You got me there, Mr. Gary Vaynerchuk. I hope
Have you
I
ever
said
seen
that right.
like any of that dude's videos? I don't know if the dude who posted it is the same dude in that picture, but the guy in the picture, he's supposed to be like some self-motivating like
This guy, yeah, it looks like it.
preacher.
Looks like that's him. Let me see. I haven't seen in his videos. So he popped up in my feed because this Matt Willis guy, I'm connected with him on LinkedIn, and he's fine. He does some travel stuff and other self-bettering things. But no, I haven't looked at any of his stuff. Maybe it's the very few bits of good content that comes out of LinkedIn there. So
Hey man, even a blind squirrel finds a nut.
that's right. That's right. You know what? I just remembered when doing this, I gotta make her big for all them blind bats out there. But anyway, yeah, so we're gonna be talking about that a little bit later. Look, man, just FYI, I'm going to split tomorrow. So maybe I'll find a castle for you. Oh, okay. I thought you were already in Split. Oh no, that's right. Split's across the channel from you there.
Is that a country that I don't know
yeah.
about?
It's a city in Croatia.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, I know I'm not like real educated on geography and such, but if that's a country, then like I'm questioning my Wisconsin public education.
I mean, you might question it anyway, just for funsies, but
I do a lot
I don't know
actually.
much about Wisconsin's education in particular. Except things, oh, it's
I
flickering because
mean,
it's a video. Anyway. Well, yeah, before we get into our topics, of course. Yeah, you're in Brock. I remember. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Brosh.
yeah, it's got
But,
the.
Senpai knows where you're from, yeah.
I don't know what that's called above the sea, but I'm gonna call it the little squiggly. It's got the little squiggly, so it's probably not pronounced brack.
Brack. I don't speak Croatian. What do they speak in Croatia? Russian? No. I don't think
Polynesian.
so. You know where Titan's from though, right? You know he's Norwegian.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I thought so.
Me and Titan,
thought
I
so.
believe, have gamed a few times. Probably with Gawson, I would think.
Maybe Costin's been gone for a while. I gotta reach out to him actually.
I Snapchat him every now and again.
Yeah, Snapchat, that thing.
He's good. He's been hitting the gym a lot.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I have to talk to him.
Trying to look like him and Prez, dude.
Yeah, Prez too, man. All these guys. Hopefully we can get everybody on here at some point. We can all have a good chat and sat and don't get fat.
Yeah, one night of drinks and games. Oh, sorry.
Yep. I'll bring the chocolate milk.
Heck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. I have a funny story about chocolate milk, but I won't get into it.
I mean, I'm down to hear it if you're down to tell it.
Well, I shouldn't say it's like funny, I guess, but it was after a long night of drinking, and I was with my girlfriend and a buddy of mine, and we decided to go to a Denny's. And I guess when the waiter came around to ask for our orders, I wanted a chocolate milk, and then I proceeded to fall asleep at the table. So when she came back with the drinks, I was adamant that that was not my chocolate milk. And it's just become like an inside joke between us three, where they're just like, "That's not my chocolate milk," and I like, I don't know. I hardly remember that too. I was messed up.
Fair enough. That's funny. That's pretty good. I like chocolate milk a lot. You know, calcium. It's good for you, right? I mean, never mind the chocolate and all the sugar, but whatever.
That Nesquik, ooh,
that's right, man. The powder stuff. You always put way too much in there too. You're like, ooh, that chocolate enough. Need another tablespoon or 3.
4. or 5, and then you dump the whole thing in there.
Well, hey, let me just real quick shout out, of course, to the Creators Lounge, which does present this program and hopefully makes it not particularly uninteresting. We try to be as interesting as possible. Hey, Cobra, welcome to the chat, buddy. Good to see you. We try to keep things interesting around here by mixing up the topics, and the way we mix up the topics is generally by having our audience pick it for us if they're in the mood. Lately, it's really all been on me, which is fine, but if you do want to suggest a topic of conversation for topic of conversation, you can go ahead and submit those requests to the Creators Lounge online at gmail.com, or if you're a member of the Creators Lounge, there is actually a channel there for that where you can do those requests. You can also request to come on as a co-host if you're interested in that. I always like to hear different perspectives. I never hate on anybody or bully anybody unless they absolutely deserve it, so just don't be a douchebag and don't deserve it, and you'll be fine, right? So there's
You said
that.
the D word, so I'm allowed 3 F words. I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, bro, you're good. Big change that's happening this week, and I know I'm excited about it, but our executive producers decided, once a week just wasn't good enough for the topic of conversation. So it looks like we're going to be doing these live recordings 3 times every week.
Oh,
That's right. It's going to be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And if you hadn't noticed, we switched times up. We're doing a little earlier in the day. Hopefully that'll leave more time for some of you to stop in and watch. Unfortunately, it is a little inconvenient when we got people on the other end of the time thing there. Sorry about that, Cobra. We're doing the best that we can. Will I bully you if you ask for it? No. Sounds like you want it just too badly. Ooh, bully me more, daddy. So yeah, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over here is when we're going to be doing this for the foreseeable future, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So looking forward to that. We do have a point system. If you are following on our channel here, you are earning cancel points. And if you look down in, let's see if I can see it correctly. If you look down below, if you look downstairs there, right in my look down in my lap there, you're gonna see the leaderboard for our, oh, there we go. Sorry, it took me a minute to get this up so I can actually see it. You'll see the leaderboard there for humble opinions, and I am always happy to give out humble opinions to those who are deserving of it. The longer you watch, the more humble opinions you acquire, and those humble opinions, of course, result in a winner at the end of each stream. Now, generally speaking, we let the winner decide the topic of conversation, so that is generally going to go into effect, though. I'm going to put the stipulation of I will still pick and choose what I want to actually talk about. So if your decision is not something that I feel like doing, yeah, look, I'm a dictator. What can I say? If you don't like it, go fuck yourself. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, so the general disclaimer. This is actually the most important disclaimer. Is all of the opinions that are given on this broadcast are the opinions of those people expressing them. Maybe they aren't even the opinions of the person expressing them, but one way or another, they are not the opinion of topic of conversation. They are not the opinion of the Creators Lounge, and they're not, intended to be offensive. And if you are offensive, well, go watch something else. That's fine with us. And otherwise, please participate. Participation is required. So if you're here, boy, I'd better see you in that chat. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. But if you're shy, that's fine too. We're always happy to have you here. I am going to do one shameless plug for my own stream. So Milkman GG has decided to come back. Executive producers of that show also decided, hey, it's time to come out of retirement, Milkman, and so you can catch Milkman GG on twitch.tv/MilkmanGG every day, Monday through Friday at noon. What else have we got? Did I miss anything?
I'm not sure. I muted myself because the second we went live, both dogs decided to go crazy.
I love them dogs. How about Senpai? Where, if anywhere, can we find you these days? You want to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
You don't really find me anywhere these days. I have a Twitch channel that isn't active. I have, what's the word I'm looking for? I have disbarred my affiliate agreement. All of my socials are very, very, very inactive. I'm just trying to get my life together before I can get back into the online world.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So don't go looking for him. The only place
I
you're
mean,
gonna
if you
find him
look
right
hard
here.
enough, you'll find me. But the odds of you seeing new content from me
Sure.
are is a very slim.
But if you find his old content, you're gonna love it. Guaranteed.
And you might,
You
or
might.
maybe you'll be like the rest of the people and say skill diff and call me trash. Who knows?
That's pretty funny.
I mean, it's just the way the internet works, right?
I guess so.
People are real bold when their face isn't attached.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's move on to our very first segment. We're a little past time, but that's fine. We do try to keep a tight schedule here. I keep it tight, as you might imagine. Not in a dirty way, but, also in a dirty way.
Could be.
We're going to go ahead and follow our little thing here that I know I just made up, and we'll see if it sticks. But we're talking about today's current trending topics on Google search. So let me just address something real quick. Is obviously there's a lot of political stuff going on lately. There's a big thing that occurred. Was that Saturday, I guess?
Yeah,
Involving the former president of the United States. And while I have my opinions on that, I don't know that this is necessarily where we want to talk about that. But if we get into it, hey, we get into it. And I don't know how comfortable you are talking about that kind of stuff. And I don't know if we even sit on the same side of line. I honestly, I don't care, but
I used to not ever touch that stuff with a 10-foot pole, but these days I don't really care. However, that specific incident probably isn't the best thing to talk. I would have to agree with you that this is probably not the place nor the time to
and
talk
if it
about
wasn't
that.
for that particular occurrence, we could get into the presidential debates, we can get into the the election and stuff like that. But that said, and we can still get into some of it to an extent. The reason that I kind of say that is the first trending search in Google, at least on my Google, and maybe it's different for yours, but what I'm seeing is Glenn Youngkin. You know who Glenn Youngkin is?
I have no idea who that is.
So, yeah, and I'm not surprised. He's was he the governor of Georgia or something, like Glenn? What's his name? Youngkin. I can't remember exactly. I know for a fact though he was a like shortlisted guy for vice president for Trump's running mate. So that said,
I don't want to get too deep into politics. Who is his vice president running mate? Does he have one?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he just announced it earlier today. Sounds like you didn't hear. So the Republican National Convention started today, and it's over. It's in Milwaukee actually. So
yeah,
I guess you're not up in that area anymore, though, huh?
No, and thank God I'm not, because they shut down a large part of this city. They shut down all traffic for a huge protest that's going on.
Yep. Correct guess there. Obviously, it's not a guess, Cobra, but yeah. So J.D. Vance, who was the senator for Ohio, is the junior senaner.
Ohio, man, Ohio stinks. No, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that.
I've never been, but maybe it does.
You shouldn't go.
I should. What's in Ohio? What's Ohio known for? I want to say no. That's Nebraska.
Crime.
I'm like corn. No, that's Nebraska. What is?
I went to Ohio once and I fell asleep every night over the weekend to nothing but gunshots, sirens, and screaming. So
Let's
I will
see.
never go to Ohio again.
I'm curious. Let's see. TripAdvisor tells me that the 15 best things to do in Ohio. Let's see. What does it say? Oh, it was clickbait. All right.
There's
All
nothing to
right,
do
you
in Ohio.
asshole. Damn. Let's see. Here we go. What's Ohio famous for? The Wright brothers. All
Okay,
right, there
well,
you go.
that's super old.
Yep. Super old. The
No offense to
Buckeye
the Wright
State.
brothers, but that was just forever ago.
What's a Buckeye? And why is it the Buckeye State, I wonder?
It's like a black eye.
Oh, it's a city.
That.
Like a black eye?
But
Okay. Is that like a
I don't know.
northerner thing? Is that why you know that?
I just pulled that out of my ass,
Yeah,
if I'm being
yeah,
honest. I don't know
Yankee.
anything about Ohio. I only know what I experienced, and it was not a good time.
Yeah, sounds like it was pretty bad. Cleveland, Ohio. Okay, Ohio. That's Cleveland rocks. Cleveland rocks. The Drew Carey Show.
No way.
Wasn't that it?
Drew
That
Carey
was
show was
Ohio.
there?
I don't know if it was actually filmed there, but
Oh,
isn't the
Drew Carey
opening
from
thing? It's
Ohio?
like Cleveland rocks. It's the Ohio, and he yells Ohio at the end.
that sounds
Good
like
song.
a worse version of that '70s show.
It is.
where
No, it
they
is.
yell
And
Wisconsin.
I always get them mixed up too. I want to listen to
Yeah,
this real
sure
quick.
enough. Drew Carey was
Busy.
born in
But when
Cleveland,
you have a
Ohio.
Kroger Boost, it's like getting a savings
Stupid
superpower.
commercials.
Hello, everybody. Hi, all tonight. This is Alex
Cleveland
from
rocks.
Jingle
Music from the
Divers,
Drew
and it's
Carey
time
show.
again for another of your favorite rock and roll sessions as you enjoy the Moon
I had to
Rock
Google it because I had no idea what you were talking
I
about.
did too. I've got it playing right now. Black eye is when you get punched in the eye and it turns blue blackish. Yeah, no, Titan, I know that one. It's Buckeye though. Buck Buckeyed.
I don't know that. That school's only relevant during football season.
I wish you know what? I should have pulled up the actual theme, like the opening sequence for that show. Because at the end, he like stands on top of a car or something and goes, Ohio.
I see it. Yeah, I'm watching the theme song on YouTube right now.
Cleveland rocks. All right, we can finish that. Back to Glenn.
Oh my
Youngkin.
God. This
What's
just
up?
unlocked a memory. I don't know when I've ever seen this, but I've seen this at some point.
You're all brains, not enough cock and balls.
Not enough cock and balls.
I
Well
have
played,
no
Cobra.
idea.
Well
The
played.
hell?
So yeah, Glenn Youngkin was the and this is probably why he's trending, because I think a lot of people were expecting he would be the vice presidential pick, but he wasn't. So, you know, I kind of look at this as who cares? Like, why do we need to know about this guy now? I don't live in
Yeah.
Virginia. He's the governor of Virginia is who he is.
Hmm.
Current or former? Hang on, let me see. Current. Okay. Yeah, he's been governor in Virginia since 2022. He was a Trump endorsed him and stuff like that. So, anyway. Well, there you go. So the top trending search on Google is like the most uninteresting thing I've ever seen. But the
Well, I'm
second
curious.
one now, and this may interest you a little bit more. It definitely interests me more. Buckeye is a kind of tree, as of what I saw, is what Titan's saying. Titan. Yo, what's up, Mr. President streaming? Nice to see you, buddy.
Sup, nerds?
Sounds like something he'd say. All right. Well, look, we're done with Glenn Youngkin, right? That was a boring topic, but you're gonna enjoy this one. I know I do. So Krispy Kreme.
What a turn of events.
Yeah. We
From
keep
politics
it
to Krispy Kreme.
we keep it real loose and what's the word? What's it say? You say the keep it loose. I don't know, man. I don't know words. I'm not good with words. Anyway, this particular search is Krispy Kreme Paris donuts.
Paris.
Do you know anything about that?
Are we talking? Are we saying Krispy Kreme donuts that are in Paris, or that's like the type of a donut?
Oh, that's what I want to find out. Oh, here we go. 2 hours ago. So this is from Food and Wine. It says Krispy Kreme is celebrating. Oh, because the Olympic Games are in Paris. Okay. See, it makes sense once you add context.
Could talk about the Olympics. The only thing I know about the Olympics is that people are shitting in the river.
I'm sorry.
I wish that was a joke.
You know what though? Okay, so I don't want to go along like racial things. Canada was having a problem with particular groups of people shitting in their oceans, like just going and shitting on the beaches. You see anything about that?
No. Oh my god. What is going on, dude?
The world's going mad, man. I don't know.
Oh, do you know why they're shitting in the river in where are the Olympics again? France,
I
right?
don't. I mean, I'd love for you to tell me if you know.
All right, so from my understanding is you can fact check me if you want, is that they were going to hold the swimming portion of the triathlon, or maybe it was just a swimming race. I don't know, but in the river there in Paris, right? It's in Paris.
Right.
Um and
I think the scenes
they
would
did a
look
bunch of
very clean
tests
anyway.
and they were like, "Hey, like this river is really nasty and nobody should swim in it." So like I don't know what the whatever it's called in France, the president of France and like some other person of the city, they were like, "No, it's clean. We'll swim in it and show you ourselves." And then the day they were going to swim in it, they got canceled and because they said they had other stuff to do.
Uh-huh.
And so somebody posted online that to get back at them, everybody should go shit in the river, and people have been actively doing it.
Wow. So that's actually really interesting. I'm glad we went there because CBS News has a an article about it here. Well, from June 22nd, it's all news. Ooh, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, I don't even remember the words to this song anymore. It's been so long.
Riding in my bed. You
Really,
really
really
have
have
to
to
see
see
it.
Jam.
Jam.
6'2", compact.
No back. Believe it.
Don't fleck.
Wow. That's a classic. I'll never not enjoy that. 2024 Paris Summer Olympics are just a month away. There's still a nasty controversy brewing over one of the spots serving as a focal point. I almost said fecal point.
That would have been a good pun. They should have
For
put
the
that in the
event.
article.
Right. The Seine River. After months of tests showing high levels of bacteria from sewage and wastewater, look, Paris as a city has been occupied longer than almost any other city in Europe, like continuously occupied. So, um, of course, the river is disgusting. Why would anybody like swim in that river? That's worse than swimming in like the East River or the Hudson over there in New York. Well, maybe not worse because it's not as big of a city, but
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't swim in that river that goes through Chicago. I wouldn't swim in any river that's connected to a city.
no, no way.
You ever seen The Simpsons? That'll happen in real life.
Well,
The
that's an
movie, I
old
mean.
episode where they got like the three-eyed fishes and stuff.
Yeah, then Ipa comes around and puts the dome over him in the movie.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that. Oh my gosh, that's so old. What were you, like 5 when that came out?
I probably. I'm gonna look up the release date because I'm curious now.
Oh, just playing. Oh, here we go. A website has appeared using the viral hashtag Je suis dans la Seine le 23 juin, which translates to I shit in the Seine on June 23rd. I'm gonna start using that hashtag. It's not true, but I'll use it anyway.
The
August, they got a
Simpsons movie
picture.
came out in 2007. I would have been 10 years old. Sorry,
Sorry, I
just
was
needed
way
to get
off.
that out there.
That explains why you remember it. I love that song, OFC. Still, OFC, somebody tell me what this means. You young people act like I know your language.
OFC of fucking course, or
Oh,
of course, really, either or.
oh, that makes sense. Just a random question for all you Americans. Where should I go in the US just in case I'm going there? Here's the thing. And actually, there's this British guy he's called like Brit in America or something like that. He's on TikTok. But he does videos of traveling around the US and being like, okay, this place is legit nuts. Um, but he did a video fairly recently, I think, where he essentially pointed out that Europeans don't see Americans as well traveled, right? Because we rarely travel outside of the United States, but points out that traveling within the United States is well traveled. I got an ad break. Are you seeing an ad break on your end? I can't figure out if these play for everybody or what.
Yeah, I got an ad break on my end, but that's okay.
All right, I'm gonna give it a second. It's gonna go for another minute and a half.
Oh.
You've got it, and so does everybody else. That's all right.
Said he's been to Cali.
He has, yeah. He was telling me about that a while back. I'm trying to convince him to come out to Florida.
Heck yeah, man. Come out to Florida. Florida's great, but not like where I'm at in Florida.
Hey, you know
Anywhere
what
else in
though?
Florida.
It's better than some other places. Better than a lot
That
of
is
other
true.
places, actually.
Be twiddling your thumbs up in Ohio.
How cold does it get up there, like in the winter?
In Wisconsin?
No, in
Oh,
Tallahassee or
here.
whatever you're close to.
Um, man, there are definitely times where while I was in the Air Force that it got like in the teens, in the 20s, and it has snowed once.
Wow. All right.
But that was like 5 years ago. Since then,
Excuse me.
I'd say like it'll get down into like the 30s
Okay. All right.
or
Not
maybe
too
even
much different
40s.
than
Yeah,
here.
just above freezing.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Just comes from the water.
Welcome back, everybody, from our lovely ad break there. Actually, I'm surprised we got that. We're only 30 minutes in. I'll have to look into that. But back to what we were saying. So he points out that no, Americans are extremely well traveled because of how ridiculously enormous the United States is and how different of culture there is just from state to state. So that's the answer to your question. Is it really depends on what you want to do. Like,
Hmm.
are you wanting to see like historical sites? Are you wanting to see like the Wild West? Are you wanting to see a bunch of purple-haired hippies protesting and throwing their poop at each other? You know, there's
Because
a
we got a
place for
state
all of
for every
those.
single one of those.
We really do.
If you
So like
want like
Portland, Oregon.
if you want like really good views, don't mind cold, and you really love hiking, then like Alaska's the place for you. If you want to be chilling on the beach, whatever, you got your choice. It's it really just depends on what you want, like Milkman
Have you
said.
have you been to Alaska?
I have. That's where I went in quotes overseas for the
Oh,
military.
okay, gotcha. Right, that's right. You didn't go to Hawaii. Um,
I loved it.
I've never been there, but I honestly I see it as like the final frontier, like just
Dude, it's
because of
awesome up there.
how vast it is and how the majority of it is uninhabited and uninhabitable. You know,
And
like
even the places that are like that have people, it like the wildlife doesn't care. I saw
right.
more moose like around my hotel than what I did like out in the wilderness hiking.
Wow. Well, that's wild. I've never seen a moose in
Literally.
person.
Dude,
As much as I
they're
like to claim I rode one while in Canada meeting Hawaiian Cobra, but that didn't actually happen. Or did it?
E- everybody will tell you that they're extremely large, but it doesn't matter how many times you hear that. You'll always have like a set expectation in mind of like how big is, and they'll always be bigger than what you
Bigger.
thought they would
Yeah,
be.
yeah. No, that makes sense. You see moose all the time? You got moose in Norway? What?
Dude, they're scary.
I thought they were all about like elk and well, bears for sure, but they're aggressive too, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I've heard.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're territorial. Very territorial. I could
Spelled
be just
aggressive wrong.
pulling that
That's
out of my
okay.
rear end, but they can be aggressive. I mean, if you leave them alone, they leave you alone. At least the ones that came into the city. I mean, I
Okay.
was out in Anchorage.
They're just kind of like, let's all just be cool with each other. You don't touch my antlers, and I won't put my antler in your butt. Elg equals moose.
I think that's the
Uh,
Norwegian word for moose.
I have to look this up. You got me on that. There might be a language barrier on that one there, Titan.
Yeah, elg means moose.
Yes. Moose, also known as elk in Europe. Wow, okay. I did not know that. I love learning something new. Cobra getting sexy with his pantyhose there. All right, all right.
Ayo.
What were we talking about? What brought us to this point?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
We were talking
You
about pooping in the
know how it
sea.
goes. You throw me and you in a call, and all hell breaks loose. We don't know how we get
That's
where we get.
that is exactly what I was hoping for. uh Krispy Kreme.
That's right. We were
Yeah,
talking about donuts.
Krispy Kreme donuts. So Krispy Kreme unveils a new Paris-inspired donut collection ahead of 2024, and they all just look like shit floating in a river. I'm just kidding. That'd be something though.
The marketing's on brand here.
They really
On
would
point.
be. It's either that or like burning buildings because of all the rioting going on with the elections and stuff.
Oh man.
Wasn't sure I was still needed. I should go back to work. Well, you're always needed. You can jump in the call if you want to. I mean, I don't believe
Back to
I
work. I saw you open up Call of Duty. You can't lie to me.
I actually saw that too. Liar.
You're on it right now.
How do we feel about these donuts though? They look pretty froofy.
I don't know, hot take. I am not a big donut person.
They're right.
To be fair, I'm not a big sweets person in general. Like
Okay.
you name it, like candy, ice cream, cake. I actually really don't like cake at all. Or
Oh, I love ice
brownies.
cream though. Ice cream's the best thing in the entire world.
I need to like really be in the mood for it. Like I need to be craving it to actually want it. Otherwise, it just kind of makes me feel gross. Like I just feel sick.
Yeah, I get that. I do. I do have a soft spot for Krispy Kremes though in particular. Um I think part of it though is because it makes me so angry how much everyone's obsessed with Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, no, their competitor is better, but I like
Really trying to stick it to them.
really sticking it to Dunkin' by not not buying Dunkins.
I every time we go to Orlando for Universal, they got that Voodoo Donuts place.
Oh
And
yeah,
all
they got yeah, they got dude, the line's always out the door over there.
it's ridiculous. But if the
They're
line's short, me and the girlfriend will split a donut because she knows I can't eat an entire one by myself.
Isn't they're the oh gosh, Voodoo Donut. The magic is in the hole. That's their slogan. Oh my goodness.
That is so funny.
There's
Never
this
tried Dunkin'. Titanfall, you're not missing much.
you're
Their
not.
commercials will say America runs on Dunkin', but
Ugh, it's the coffee
they'd be
that's not
lying
even
to
that
you.
good. Yeah, well, yeah, it's the coffee is what everybody seems to care about. Their donuts though, they're baked. Like who bakes a friggin' donut? Donuts are meant to be fried. That's just that's how it is.
I thought you only baked like cake donuts. I thought cake donuts were the ones you
I don't know.
bake. I don't
Dunkin'
know.
bakes
I'm
all
not a
their
donut
donuts.
connoisseur.
That's right. There's this other one up in Portland, Oregon. Yes, believe it or not, I lived there for a little while, and everybody obsesses over it. It's the same kind of thing. Everybody's like line out the door. It's the only one. It's a local donut shop, but yeah, yeah. Do y'all have Dunkin' over there in Europe or in Norway at least? Maybe they have it in other places, but not Norway.
If they do, man, I hope their slogan is different. It'd be really weird showing up to a Dunkin' in Norway and it's like America runs on Dunkin', and you're
That's
like,
true.
okay.
They're like, okay, so fossil fuels, got it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Logan, slogans though, I can't I can't detach myself from this. I mean, the magic is in the whole. Like who decided that was the way to go with that one? Voodoo don't. Oh
They're
man,
advertising to the generation just after me because they can't take anything serious.
that's true.
So they do that. Customers flood in.
That's true. That's true. Well, hey, enough talk about donuts. We've got one last. We do the top three trending. So the last top trending topic here, and I'm doing these on the fly. Like I don't prepare for these at all, just because I want to do some natural reactions. Jay Slater Tenerife missing. I don't know who that is. Do you know who that is?
I have no idea who that is.
Jay Slater Ten.
I thought you were about to look it up on your LinkedIn profile. I was like, I don't
Oh
know if that's going to
yeah,
be on there, man.
yeah.
Unless they're
This
hiring for a
song.
search party.
Yeah, there you go. Right. All right, Jay Slater. Oh, okay, so a body was found 9 hours ago. So let's. I mean, I want to take the original story. Jay Slater is missing. Who is Jay Slater though? Like
It's in like top trending on Google. I would
Spanish
assume that this
police.
person is pretty
All right,
important.
he's a British kid. British kid, Jay Slater. Thanks, Titan, for the random sound there. I don't know what they say there though. Oh, you do have. Okay, it says they do have Duncan. Wow, who would have thought? I wouldn't have thought.
I mean, you could go there just to try it. I wouldn't take our opinions of the place as like a fact.
Yeah,
At least that's how I am with like any food place. Because I'll be ask somebody like, "Well, how's the food there?"
right.
And they'll just like trash on it, and I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna try it anyway because like maybe I like it."
Or like movies are like that too for me, man. I had a guy that I actually really trusted about movies tell me that that new Roadhouse movie sucked. And I watched it and I was like, this movie's actually kind of badass.
I enjoyed it.
I
I
enjoyed it
really
a lot.
did.
Yeah, I never saw the original, so I mean, I didn't really have anything to compare it to. But as a standalone movie, I was like, this is actually fun to watch.
The original's really good too.
Yeah,
And honestly, like if you look at it as like a remake or whatever, I could
right.
definitely see how people would be upset. However, if you look at them as just like two different kind of versions of like the same ish thing, you can appreciate it a lot more.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah. Plus, like when it comes to food and stuff, different. Well, whether it be a franchise or just different place where it's made is often different from store to store too. So yeah, you just can't trust some of those kinds of opinions. But
Dunkin' might
back
even be taste better in Norway because
more
they
natural
have
ingredients.
stricter, yeah, they have
Yeah,
stricter food laws over there, don't they?
you're right about that. Actually, that's probably true. Man, I want to get to Norway. I need to get out there one of these days. In the meantime, I'll listen to you, Senpai. I won't go there because of two reasons. One, there's always a queue, and two, I couldn't care about standing in the queue. All right, he doesn't like the line.
Hey,
Got
fair enough. Fair
it. Fair
enough.
enough. Yeah, you wouldn't like Disneyland either,
Or Universal.
or Universal,
Maybe don't
or
come to Florida.
or
Actually,
right.
a
Don't
lot
come to
of
Florida.
a lot of the
Lines. You
cool stuff
wouldn't
in Florida you just
driving on
stand
the
in lines for.
freeway.
You sit in line on the
Uh,
freeway too. Oh my
it
goodness.
is. America is nothing but queues all day long.
America
We
took
spend more
the
of our
military
lives waiting
saying
in
of
line than actually
yeah.
living.
A fun thing everybody says about the military is it's very much a hurry up and wait,
Yeah.
and that's just the America anywhere you go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Unless you
true.
go to Nebraska where there's nothing there except corn, then I don't really know what you're waiting for.
Back to our UK teenager Jay Slater though.
Yeah, this kid, yeah.
Yeah, so a body was recovered on Monday near where he disappeared. It's believed to be Mr. Slater. Formal identifications yet to take place. 19-year-old. He was an apprentice bricklayer from I dare not try to pronounce this. Oswald Twistle.
You tried anyway.
I can't not laugh when I'm saying that. We have to look this
Oh,
town
man.
up. Oh my goodness, that reminds me of a amazing video by the Map Guys. If you ever have a chance, if you're on Twitter, I mean not Twitter, on TikTok, or they're probably on YouTube too. Look up the map men, map men, map men, map men. It's hilarious, but they do this great thing about the stupid naming of all of the various places in the UK, just because of all the history that all comes from. All right, Titan wants to hear you try to say it.
I don't even like.
It's it's Oswald Twistle.
That's what I was
OSW.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oswald Tissel, Twistle.
Oswald Twistle.
I'm
Twistle?
trying to
Do
read
you
it from your
pronounce all of the
screen here.
T's or the L? I don't know.
Oswald
Look up
Twistle.
pronunciation.
I feel like we're saying it very American.
Looks like a
And
nice
we're
town
very
though. Look at
incorrect.
that. Look at all that green hills. Oh, you got these big stone bridges. What's it close to? Blackburn, sure, obviously.
So
It's
I'm
in
assuming this
Great
guy
Britain.
didn't go missing in the States. This is in
Oh, it's
England.
a really tiny area. I say that because whenever I zoom out from cities like that, it's like, oh, it's the UK. You're like, well, big old country. And then I'm like, let's scroll over to the United States. Yeah.
Yeah, to go back what you were saying about us not traveling or whatever, that
Right.
couldn't be any further from the truth because my drive from Wisconsin to Florida, that was an 18-hour drive.
Yeah. Well, and this British dude was pointing out he's in London. He said I could drive to Paris, Belgium, Amsterdam, Edinburgh in 45 minutes.
Dude,
He drives minutes, and he's in another country.
where I lived at in Wisconsin, like when I was growing up, we had to drive 30 minutes just to get to a Walmart.
Jeez. They're like Walmart's like Starbucks. There's one on every corner.
Not that, dude. The where I grew up, we had um 2 gas stations, 4 bars, and a Subway and a Dollar General.
Subway. The
That's
best
it.
sandwiches around. Just ask Pedo Jared.
I love
Uh,
Subway.
I don't mind them. There are just a lot better options now, like
And
Firehouse
the
subs.
$5 footlong doesn't exist anymore.
That's true. Yeah. And their cookies aren't what they used to be. You know, it used to be like, all right, $1 for 3 cookies or something like that. And I don't know, they're just like greasy now.
They made a footlong cookie.
It doesn't sound wonderful. It
They
sounds
had
terrible.
footlong churro and one
Churro I
other
can get down with. Yeah,
footlong
let's do that.
something.
I do love me a good churro. Titan Balls. Titan Balls says, I want to go back to Universal Studios. Must have gone to California one.
I was gonna say he had to have gone to the Hollywood one, unless do they have Universal ones. Do they have Universal overseas? I don't know.
Oh, I don't think so. I think there's just the two. It's Orlando and Hollywood.
Yeah,
I
Subway had a
heard that. Yeah, you
footlong
did say about
churro,
that.
pretzel, and cookie.
All right, I can get down with that. Give me that churro, not the cookie though. I don't think that would. I feel like it would just be real doughy in the middle.
It's just too much cookie.
Yeah, like I'm down for a good cookie, but like there's such thing as too much. You called me Titan Ball. That's not true. I called you Titan Balls.
There's a pair.
But it's an enduring thing. It's like Dragon Ball. Dragon Balls. It's Titanfall. Oh, it is. Golly, I didn't know that, man. Thanks for helping me out on that one.
Much
All right, well
appreciated.
that was that.
I said much appreciated.
Much appreciated. Well there you have it. There's our 3 top trending searches. It gives us roughly 10 minutes to talk about what we came here to talk about in the first place, but you know, maybe we'll go over, maybe not. I heard you got to run off after all, so maybe not. I don't know. See where
Who,
this
me?
takes us. So, you know, going back then to our original conversation is, you know, how do people motivate themselves? And this is one of the things that gets me. It's just there's so much crap out there. Like, how do you weed through just the garbage of, oh, take care of your mental health for XYZ reasons. And, some person in history once upon a time said this, and so we all have to smell roses and poke each other in the butt. How do you weed through all that crap? How do you personally weed? I'm curious. How do you do that?
You asking me?
And I'm not talking to myself.
I suppose I'm the only other person here. Um,
Ligma. Okay, all right, Titanfall.
so I guess that there's like a few things that like, I mean, you brought up mental health, so I'll say this. You said at the beginning of the show, everybody's opinions are their own, so people can get offended if they want, but this is my opinion. I think as far as mental health goes, I think if we didn't talk about it as much, it wouldn't be as big of a problem. Not to say that we shouldn't talk about it, but I think we're putting the thought in people's minds more than anything, especially at a very young age these days. And that's coming from a person who has a very long line of, parents and grandparents and stuff that have depression, and that stuff like is, transmitted through your genes and whatnot. So like that's how I feel about that entire thing. But like as far as like motivation and shit, this might not be the healthiest thing, but I'm not good at staying motivated for myself. Like I need to have an external source that makes me motivated. So like as of right now, you know, I'm going to school, I'm trying to find a job and all this fun stuff, but like I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for like my girlfriend and her kid because now that I live here, I feel like I need to finally like step up as a man and kind of get my shit together for them. That way I'm providing and not being a what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, uh like I don't need her providing for me. I'm trying to do that myself.
Sure.
So my motivation comes from that, just knowing that like I need to be better for them.
Awesome. Awesome. Back on the subject of like mental health, it's interesting for you to say that, and not because it's not right. I feel the same way. In a lot of ways, mental health issues they're a more recent phenomenon, and it is because people talk about it more, and it takes me back to some of history. Psychology and psychiatry and stuff like that didn't actually become an actual field of medicine until like the 1970s. And before that, it was sort of like you do what you have to do, you know? Um, and obviously, you take care of yourself, but you don't think of it as, oh, I need me time. Oh, I need a mental health day, like that kind of stuff. It's like, no, you do what you got to fucking do because this is real life.
Hmm.
And you're right. I think like I go a little bit deeper on it to say I feel like a lot of it is intentional, um, for institutions to try to create a need for themselves, because we wouldn't need psychiatrists and psychologists if there wasn't a mental health issue, right? Um, and so they're the ones who are always, you see like the online therapists and oh, subscribe, do online therapy, this thing and that thing. And it's like, oh, okay, so
The
you've
better
created a
help.
need for yourself. It's like the pharmaceutical companies, right? Oh, we didn't help develop this or that and then sell the vaccine for it. Okay, right. Um, but yeah, no, absolutely. I think mental health is one of those things that, yeah, obviously it's important to not focus. What am I trying to say? If you put
It's
too much,
important to talk about, but the way we talk about it is
right,
putting it in people's minds to make them feel like they are feeling this type of way. I
right,
don't know if that's what you're trying to say, but that
well,
kind of seemed like maybe a
they're
little bit
turning
what
it
you were trying to
into
say.
a I'm this way because of my condition, rather than you have a choice to be this. And that's the mental part of it, is you have a choice to be this way. Certain things there's not when it comes to very specific actual ailments, but for the majority of people, um, you know, your mental illness is something that, or actually, I'm putting that in air quotes. Your mental illness is because you've been told that this, that, or the other thing that you happen to feel every now and again is a mental illness and it needs to be addressed by a professional. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
oh, it's not your fault. It's like, no, it is. It's something that you could take responsibility for and change. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
like for example, like for myself, having that long lineage, like I know that I can get depressed, but I know I am that way when I'm not strongly like taking care of myself in a very good manner. Hence why I go to the gym, Monday through Friday now, and I'm trying to eat better, and I am trying to do graphic design stuff, and I'm trying to get this job. Like as long as I'm taking care of myself physically, I don't feel a lot of that mental shit coming into
That's
my head.
that's a huge thing, and especially for men. Um, we were talking about a little bit earlier, men have a natural need to be the protectors, to be the people out doing things, right? Physical things. And I think because we live in a culture where, almost everything's online or people work at desks, a lot of that does lead to men in particular going, well, what's my purpose here? Like, what good am I? Because they have that dissonance of, um, I feel this way, like I should, get out and do more, but society's telling me to be this way. You know what I'm saying?
That's part of the problem too is this social construct of
Yeah.
like you said, some people will feel a certain way a type of day, and or they'll feel a certain type of way on any given day, and anybody can just go WebMD themselves, and then they're just like, oh, I have ADHD or I have XYZ,
Right. And now I need to go see a doctor to give me meds for it.
and then half the time, okay, I shouldn't say this, I shouldn't say it like that.
Yeah, it's
The way I see it is like, yeah, you go get seen by a doctor, you get put on these meds, and then that's what starts messing with your mental state. And I've seen that firsthand
yeah.
where people like feel like they have something, and then all of a sudden they get put on this medication that's supposed to help people who actually have it. Okay, that sounds bad too, but you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh
Is
yeah.
it starting? Does it make sense?
It exacerbates the problem.
Yeah.
And that's a fun word to say if you want to try it sometime. Let me read a couple of things in chat here. Cobra says, I'm motivated to keep going so I can get the fuck out of Hawaii. We
Fair
had
enough.
insane asylums to deal with the mentally ill until it was closed down by removing federal funds. Yeah. And who probably motivated that removal was the psychiatrists and the psychologists, Um, let's see, coupled with the fact you can't force them to take medications for their mental illness. Well, I mean, I don't think we should force anybody to do that. Um, although, that crosses kind of a fine line when you've got parents who are, dosing their kids with this stuff because some professional told them that they have this, that, or the other, right?
That's where I see it the worst, and I've like seen it firsthand with like people I know, like not necessarily in my like immediate or even extended family, but like friends of the family, like these kids will be acting like how kids are going to act. And they're like, oh, well, my kid has ADHD and they drown him in meds. And it's like, no, your kid is just being a kid and you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. Absolutely, that's right. In my opinion, of course, obviously, I'm no professional or anything like that. Uh,
We interrupt this
her
regularly
birthday
scheduled
delayed. Is she
program.
still pre-K? Sorry, guys. Give me just a second.
You're fine.
Yeah.
I'll read things in chat in
Yes.
the meantime.
All right.
Titan.
Who shut down the mental asylums? Yeah, I want to look this up because Cobra's calling me out and saying I'm wrong, which maybe I am. This was actually in 1981, so it was Ronald Reagan who did it. Omnibus Budget Reconciliation Act of 1981. That's not to say, of course, that JFK might not have had some part in it beginning to shut him down, but no matter who did it, the whole fact is mental health and mental illness is dealt with differently now than it used to be, and it doesn't seem to be fixing the problem. It seems to be making it worse, right?
And the other issue too is like you said, you have these online programs now. Like for example, BetterHelp, which you see like every YouTuber on the planet be sponsored by. However, BetterHelp is notoriously known for having the worst therapists who don't help you. So it's just a giant scam to get you to
Yeah.
pay a bunch of money.
Yeah, it's hard nowadays to know who to trust. I mean, that goes for anything, really.
Oh, true.
I,
And now you're depressed because you're poor, not because you're depressed.
right. I got an ad break going on. We'll hold off until it's done. Are you having to run off? I don't want to keep you. I know we're past 6 o'clock now.
Probably soon. The
All right.
girlfriend's gonna be here soon, and it'll be time to make dinner in
Gotcha.
about like 5-10 minutes.
Okay. I want to make points real quick on the actual outside of the mental health part that you were talking about. So we'll talk about that real quick, and then I'll let you sign off, and maybe I'll bring Cobra on or something. I don't know. I think my wife wants me to get off too, so this is
I
rough,
know how
man.
that
I'll tell
goes.
you what. It's rough. It's like you try to start something, and it's like, you do this. All right, woman. All right, woman. I hope some people can still see me right now. Like, I hope I get get smeared for this.
I can
He's
see your
talking
face in the top right,
disparagingly
but I
about
can't hear
women.
you.
What's that?
I can see your face in the top right, but I can't hear you.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Oh, hey, the ads are working. Yay.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Pay me, Twitch.
Get your 2 cents.
It was 8 cents last week.
Oh, there we go.
Oh
Big
yeah,
money.
yeah. All right, welcome back, everybody. Sorry about that ad break. I didn't get the notification. I haven't been getting the notifications. I'm probably looking at the wrong screen anyway. But I did want to just go back to, the things that motivate you. That's a huge one, and especially for me, and I think anybody else who has people who rely on them, is that really is the primary motivation to do certain things. It's like, okay, um, I want to be this person to these people. How do I accomplish that? And if it comes down to getting yourself in shape, if it comes down to learning a new skill, changing careers and things like that. For me, that was a huge one recently. I recently finished my my higher education, and part of it is it's frustrating because you want to be able to be that right away, and that's for me in particular. Like, I'm just really impatient. Like, I want the change to come, and that's actually the worst demotivator for me is probably my own ambition, my own feeling like I'm not a thank you for agreeing, Titan. Appreciate that. But just not feeling like I'm getting to that point as quickly as I ought to be. And a lot of what helps me is writing things down, and reminding myself, to be more realistic about things. So that's for me in particular, but definitely family motivations are numero uno in even getting out of bed in the morning sometimes.
I mean, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got as far as like, the motivation and like the self-improvement goes is you don't need to be a better person that than you were, years ago, and you don't need to like change drastically like over the course of 24 hours, but if you could just be a little bit better than what you were yesterday. And even if it's in like the smallest thing, like whatever better is to you. Like even if it's as simple as just like taking out the trash or some shit like that. Like
Yeah.
every little bit helps contribute to that self-improvement as long as that's what you're actively striving to go for.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. And to that same point, you know, a lot of that comes down to the just the act of planning out your day, planning out your week, planning out your month, you know, making those long-term goals, and then you know, writing down the steps that you intend to get to that goal. Um, and then holding yourself accountable, really, and um, you know, it's those little things, it's those little steps that ultimately lead to. And I don't know if, you know, the way you said it was exactly it how it sounded in my mind, because that kind of sounds to me like, you know, the person that you were last year is going to be way different from the person that you are this year, because of those small changes that you made every day, you know. And at the same
Yeah,
time, it
they
doesn't.
build upon each other.
Yeah, yeah. But you know, there's one thing that has always gotten to me. A lot of people will do the whole this version of me or that version of me, or a new me. I've never seen it that way. Is you are always you, um, but you learn and you add to who you are, and that may change the things that you do, but it doesn't change who you are. Um,
I've
I
always
think it's
phrased it like this is yeah, not like a new me or whatever, but it's the next phase of me.
Yeah, yeah, right, right. And it's a, I don't know, I guess you could call it an iteration. I mean, it's building upon the successes of a previous version. I guess you could say version. Um, but I think a lot of it comes down to having a core, right? Having that one thing that is, this is what I believe, and I'm never going to change that. Um, and I'm not talking about like politically or religiously or anything like that, but you know, things like, I'm always going to be a good person to other people, right? And that's always going to start driving, okay, well, how can I be a better person today? Um, you know, where can I improve on my core? You know what I mean? What's
Yeah,
that
I'm
link,
picking up what you're
Cobra?
putting down.
Cobra's putting the links in the chat. Should I be afraid to click on this? Click on it and see what happens. Good, let's listen to this. I like that. You can't hear that. Hang on.
Would show up in my barracks room, and the first thing they'd do was inspect my bed. If you did it right, the corners would be square, the covers would be pulled tight, the pillow centered just under the headboard, and the extra blanket folded neatly at the foot of the rack. It was a simple task, mundane at best, but every morning we were required to make our bed to perfection. It seemed a little ridiculous at the time, particularly in light of the fact that we were aspiring to be real warriors, tough, battle-hardened SEALs. But the wisdom of this simple act has been proven to me many times over. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. So if you want to change the world, start off by making your bed.
Making your bed. That's a big thing Jordan Peterson's always talking about too. Thank you for that input, Cobra. I appreciate that. It's definitely relevant. No, go away. Um, so that said, I mean, yeah, the little things. Before we keep going, Senpai, I'm just gonna say, never mind, you're messaging me. All right. Well, listen, thank you very much for joining us, Senpai. I really appreciate you coming on to co-host. Hopefully, we'll get to do this again soon. It's always a pleasure. But I don't know.
Sorry, were you talking to me? No, it was
No,
awesome.
yeah, no, thank you. I was just saying thank you. If you're gonna run, we'll keep chatting a little bit. Just because I was kind of had some thoughts I wanted to get out there, but I know you got to get going. So thanks for being here, man. Thanks for being awesome.
Yeah, no, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I gotta bounce. I gotta go do adult duties.
All right, sounds good, man. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, man.
All right. All right, so what I was gonna kind of move on to from there was, um, external motivations. So, like that idea of having a family or something that has to be taken care of. Um, that's all well and good, but when we get onto like social media and stuff, this was again the very first reason that I was like, this is what we should talk about was just the um some of the stupid stuff that I see on on LinkedIn, to be honest with you. What's this one? Marketing managers don't get this is probably an ad. No, maybe not. Look, marketing managers don't get enough support they deserve. The website down for 3 days. Hosting company, not us. Web developer, not me. Everyone blames others. Then who? I don't know, man. But you look at like posts like this, and it's like, what does this even mean? Okay, fine. So he puts on this whole explanation of it. And the whole point of it is what? This right here. Book an appointment. You like the things I say? Book an appointment. Pay me money. Which is, it's fine. That's all well and good. But when it comes in, the guise of trying to help better people, I'm skeptical. And a lot of the stuff that you see, Facebook is such a good example of it because you always see just these like internet gurus and their random, this or that is the motivation behind, uh, certain things. Or just like spewing nonsense that sounds nice. It sounds pretty. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know why I'm stopped on his face there. Share his templates. Like this kind of stuff is useful, right? Here's some ideas on how you, based on your personality, can accomplish things, right? Okay, that's good. That's useful. But then you have ones like, well, this is I'm getting unlucky today and not finding anything that's particularly bad. How long did you work during your last job? 30 years. What's your age? 20 years. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You say you're 20 and 30 years. How's that possible? Overtime. Haha, that's good. Um, like this. Okay, here. Surround yourself with people who fight for you in rooms you aren't in. It's like, I mean, that's nice to hear. It's nice to think about. But at the end of the day, like, what does it accomplish? Like, what does it drive you to do? Um, I just a lot of these external motivations just seem meh to me. Founder's card, for example. Look at all these beautiful places, all these wonderful things. Like, there's a motivation, okay? But it's also really unrealistic in a lot of ways. Um, Most people aren't going to be, flying business class. This is probably like a uh, United Arab Emirates flight, or staying in these expensive hotels and visiting these far off places, except of course Titan, who always visits these far off places. That actually looks kind of like the place he's at now. A goal without a timeline is simply a dream. Like, first of all, how many times have you heard a variation of that same thing? But again, it's a statement. It's a statement that doesn't come with any connection to reality, or how to actually act on, I guess, the feelings that it's supposed to drive in you, right? So anyway, that was really kind of all I wanted to say. There was, what are we doing for our motivations. What are we using to motivate us? Do you use, the idea of, I want to be better? I have a good night, Titan. Thanks for popping in, man. Uh, do we have an internal reasoning to want to improve, to do things differently, uh, to make ourselves better every day, or do we have some goal that we're reaching toward? And are we allowing ourselves to kind of fall victim to these internet gurus that are just spouting this nonsense that ultimately doesn't improve ourselves, doesn't really drive us towards anything real? Or are we setting our goals for ourselves and then laying out a plan on how to get there and allowing the motivation of getting to that goal and knowing that you have laid out all of the steps, every rung to climb the ladder, um, to motivate you daily to do those things and to improve yourself. So a lot of this is kind of coming from the context of owning your own business, starting your own stream, becoming an entrepreneur, doing any of those things. But it really applies also to people who are in a career. How do you become better in the thing that you are doing professionally? How do you become a better father? How do you become a better spouse, or I should say father or wife, I guess. Father, or words are not falling out of my mouth the right way. Father or mother, there we go. How do you improve yourself? Doesn't matter where you are in life. um, it's so easy, especially nowadays in the day of the internet, all of this digital um, inundation. It's just all of these things that are thrown at us. This is what should make you happy. This is what should make you happy. This will make you better. This will improve this or that or the other thing. And at the end of the day, there's nothing coming in that centers you on that thing that you're really trying to accomplish. So uh, I don't want to keep this going too much longer than we usually go, but I would just say this kind of in closing is find that thing that centers you. Find that thing. Hey, Egg 77, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Oh, he's doing money don't jiggle jiggle. It's not going. Hold on, I'll replay it for you if it doesn't go. There it is. Riding in my Fiat, you really have to see it. 6'2" in a compact, no slack. Luckily, the seat goes back. I got a neck to relax in my mind. Red wine. Right on. Thank you for that. I appreciate the participation. We are going to go ahead and close just on this. I would encourage anybody who watches this, whether it's now on the live stream or later on in the VOD, or anybody who's listening to the podcast, find that thing that centers you. Find that core you that you will build upon every day, that 5-year, 10-year, 20-year goal, and use that as your motivation. Good singing, thank you, I appreciate that. I'll be happy to sing you a song if you, I don't know, I think there's actually a button on there for it, but you're funny, I like you. Find that motivation in yourself. Don't look for these external motivators. Obviously, if there's an initial reasoning for wanting them, I have to better take care of my family. Hey, that's right. Welcome to the party. All right, all right. Britland Barrel, thank you. Hey, thanks for popping in. Thanks for the follow. Um, oh jeez. Then yeah, yeah, I'm super gay all the way. That might be one of the best sound alerts. What does that do? Now you know. You guys are just gonna spam my sound alerts now. I see what's what. All right, all right. So look, that's all I have to say, guys. Is center yourself, find something that is worth getting. Let your motivation be personal to you. Let it be a core value that will be something you can build upon, and that is not just an outside motivator. You know, these stupid rah posts on social media and all that bullshit. Okay, find it within yourself, build upon that thing, and that's it. That's all that I have to say about that. Would anyone like to see him? Shut up, Cobra. I'm not going to sing for you right now. I'm wrapping it up. This is over. Points are done. Do you want to see who won? Let's see who got the most points today. I bet it was me. I bet I got the most points today. It was, yep, I was right. Topic of conversation with 2,400 points. Let me refresh that. Let's see if, yeah, no, easily, hands down. Willie's from Mars. All right, we're gonna actually wrap up, you guys. So thank you for stopping in. If you're interested in hanging out and doing more stuff with us, we also have our Discord service, the Creators Lounge. We are presented by the Creators Lounge, which is just a really great group of people who are trying to build our businesses, build our brands, and have fun doing it along the way. Make him sing next stream. Thanks, Cobra. I'll look forward to that. Our next stream is going to be on Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We don't have a specific topic yet, but I'm sure I'll find something good for you. We'll go through all the trending searches for the day again, and hopefully we'll have a lot of fun with whoever decides to be my co-host. But that is it. And now I'm going to put music on, let it roll around in your head for a second. And I'm going to say thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for new follows. We'll look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Bye. Oh, wait, I forgot to say one thing is Spotify. Check us out on Spotify and YouTube, where we're going to repost the podcast tomorrow. So that's the thing, too. Okay, that's it. Bye.